Hey there, YouTubers. Welcome to 2022. This is my first video of the year. I've already broken some New Year's resolutions, so today's video, what I decided to do was recap 2021, which was an eventful year probably for all of us. I'm not going to talk about COVID, but COVID obviously plays a part in all of it. I'm going to talk mainly about first, starting with my RV stuff. And because of COVID, it was a little different. I took 2 trips up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan from Ohio, because that's what I tend to do a lot. And I took 1 long trip across the country out to Washington State. So I'll use a map to show you. I went up from Dayton, Ohio, went up to the UP for a few weeks. Then I drove across US 2, across the northern tier states. Kind of took my time, spent in most places a couple 3 days, and made it all the way out to the west coast on the Olympic Peninsula. So that's the route I took out there. I took US 2 across the top to about the middle of Montana. Then I took Montana 200, and I've said in all the videos, if you want to check out, you can see all the videos of that trip. Montana 200 was not a fun road in my RV. I took that to Great Falls. Then I went from Great Falls and picked up I-90 and went through Idaho, Washington State, and I got all the way out to the Olympic Peninsula and had a fantastic trip. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. I already told you what the mileage was. I was fortunate on both ends of this trip that I had a home base at both places and friends with cars. So I put that mileage on the RV, pretty much just getting places, and then at least that much exploring places on both ends of the trip. So I was in Washington State when the heat went insane, that heat dome thing, and it was 115 degrees in Tacoma, Washington. So that was interesting. Not a lot of boondocking because of that. It was really hot getting there. It was a little cooler coming back. It only went over 100 a couple times on that long drive back. And this is the way I came back. I took I-90 pretty much the whole way back until you pick up 94. And that was about 2,800 miles or so. And the way out there was probably closer to 3,000. And a whole bunch of money in go-go juice. I did the trip back in about 4 days, a little bit quicker. Stayed in the UP for a few weeks, then came back again for a fall trip to the UP. And for the year, I put about 10,000 miles on my van. A lot of the same, but I took I-90 pretty much all the way across, and then took 94 when I got to like Minnesota. I will say, if you're planning a cross-country trip, I've now driven 70, 80, and 90 across the Rocky Mountains. And there were a couple times on this trip that I was a little nervous with the van. It's a now 23-year-old van, but it made it. Awesome Eddie kept going like a tank, but you know, you get to some of those high mountain passes in the Rockies and it's 35, 40 miles an hour when you're trying not to hurt your van. But he ran great. Couple burps at the beginning of the trip, but overall he ran fantastic, and I was very, very pleased. That mileage wise is probably the longest trip I've yet taken in the van, but again, I didn't take a lot of trips this year. I have no plans of going south for this winter. I got some personal non-RV personal life stuff to take care of this winter, so I'm not going south, but there's probably going to be a trip or two winter trip in the early part of 2022, and then some planning to see what I'm going to do this coming year. I got some thoughts, but you know, making thoughts into realities. I'm sure the UP will be involved because you all might be tired of it, but I'm not. So I do what I do, and we'll see if I do videos about it or not, or if I do videos at all anymore. What else happened in 2021 for me? I've been dabbling for quite a few years with some vegetarian, vegan kind of eating lifestyle. Here and there I would do some, and I've transitioned to mostly vegan now, and I couldn't be more excited. For YouTube, it's not good for my YouTube because there's so many people that are closed-minded and automatically think it's terrible. And if you don't like it, I don't really care. Don't watch it. But you'll find it's a lot healthier and the food tastes really good. I have a couple non-vegan meals that I might record and post on YouTube for those that I've learned get very upset that I cook vegan stuff now. They're very against it. And I get a kick out of it because I'm pretty sure most of the people that are so convinced that it's terrible rabbit food and stuff like that have never tried it and really don't know anything of what they claim to talk about. But I've really learned to enjoy it and experimenting and learning new taste flavors and profiles and way to create excellent tasting meals that are a little bit healthier for me. I've lost some weight. I didn't need to lose a lot. I've been fortunate most of my life. My metabolism is probably higher than my IQ. But yeah, I've lost some weight. I feel healthy. I feel good. So that's awesome. So I stopped it because I got confused already of what I said and what I haven't said, because one of the New Year's resolution was start to do more of a script. Of course, I broke that. I'm not doing it. So when you drive across, I found the best route was actually US 2. But I didn't go all the way to US 2 because I wanted to drop down and check out a couple things. 80 had some really high points in it when I've been on 80 in the past. And 90, when I came back across 90, there were a lot more high points on the drive back than there was on 2 when I went east. So further east of the Rockies, there's a lot more mountain passes to climb on I-90 than there is on US 2 from my experience. But it's a great drive. If you get an opportunity to drive cross country, you pick whichever road you want to, but it's awesome. There's beautiful places in Montana, beautiful places in North Dakota, Idaho, Washington. I mean, it's just, you know, you go to most states in this country and there are beautiful places to visit and see. Again, if you want to watch any of that stuff about that long trip out west, check it out. They're all on my YouTube link down here or wherever the heck they are. Some beautiful stuff, some beautiful driving stuff, whether you like that. Just to get an idea of what it's like to drive through the Rockies. And coming back through all the forest fires, there was just so much smoke in the mountains. It was kind of spooky, apocalyptic and stuff, but I had an awesome trip. All right, so what else did I do other than that great big awesome trip? Saw so much of the Olympic Peninsula. I'm telling you, must have driven 3,000-4,000 miles just in the Olympic Peninsula. It's fantastic if you can get up there, Mount Rainier, Hurricane Ridge, the ocean, big tree. I mean, it's just fantastic. It really is. But what else did I do? Well, it was COVID. 2021 was COVID, and I know you can't talk about COVID. Everybody gets all upset. But it was a terrible year because of that for so many people. But I personally, I still had a good 2021. I've so far not gotten COVID that I know of. I've been healthy. I've been happy. Life has been good. And I think I found a way to travel safely without giving up too much of it and still having a really enjoyable time. RVing was a great way. Sadly, too many people realized RVing was a great way to spend a pandemic year. Let's hope it's over soon and maybe some people realize they'd rather go back to going to timeshares or whatever they want to do and free up some spaces for the rest of us out there in the RVs. Or maybe they found they love it just as much as those of us that have been doing it for a while and they enjoy it. I have some plans for the future on what I'm going to do. Again, I'm not going to be going south this winter. I have personal stuff to take care of. Personal life, non-RV stuff to take care of this winter. But I'm sure I have some other trips coming up this winter into the spring, fall, and then summer. I have ideas float around in my head a lot, you know, because there's room they can bounce around. And if one of them bounces to something and sticks, that'll probably be my plans for this upcoming 2022. I hope everybody out there had as good as possible as 2021. I hope everybody learns to calm down a little bit, enjoy life, maybe go out and see some beautiful things, beautiful experiences, and have great and wonderful days. So that's pretty much all I got. I wanted to try to just do an update because I haven't done a video in quite some time. because I'm kind of not RVing right now. I'm kind of just hanging out. It is cold. I'm out in the RV. I don't know if my breath can be seen, but it's cold out here. Which means, for me, which a lot of people don't like, there should be, pretty soon, there should be, well, it might be a little bit before I can get a winter RV trip done, because I enjoy those very much. But that was 2021. Couple trips up to Michigan's beautiful Upper Peninsula, a cross-country trip and back that was fantastic, and that's about it. So, if that's about it, why am I still talking? I'm going to say have a great and wonderful day, and see you in the next video. Go. Oh yeah, one other thing, because I always have to remember one other thing. I made some more than a couple New Year's resolutions. One of them was get rid of the hippie hobo look. Obviously haven't done that yet. Haven't decided. I might let it go a little bit longer. I think it's 10, 11 months, I think, since I've had a haircut. So we'll see. So make your New Year's resolutions. Decide to keep them or decide not to keep them. Do whatever you want. That's enough. Now I'm done.